Prime Minister, Members of Parliament, Otago University Vice-Chancellor Grant Robertson, Mayor Jules Raddick, Olympic champion Finn Butcher, our Press Chief Exec Grant McKenzie, invited guests, and most importantly our Class Act Award recipients. I am Paul McIntyre, Chief of Allied Press. Tēnā koutou, katoa. Welcome to the 2024 ODT Class Act Awards, an extra special occasion as it's our 25th awards. To mark the occasion, we've, as I said, had a special guest, Olympic gold medalist Finn Butcher, and actually former Class Act recipient who will be sharing his experiences. Today is about honouring and celebrating success. You are this country's future. By accepting this award, I hope this gives you the confidence to follow your dreams and push on to succeed in whatever field you choose. There are 55 of you representing 28 schools, and you've been recognised as the cream of Otago's secondary school elite in 2024. You've been nominated by your schools on the basis of your achievements to date and potential for success in the next stage of your life. The award is based on excellence, which can come in many forms, as we know: academic, sporting, social, artistic, cultural, or leadership qualities, or a combination of many, which sees a pupil nominated. Now, sometimes I was wondering the other day whether the former editor, Robin Charteris, who was the brainchild of the awards in 2000, would have anticipated them still going strong 24 years later. At the first awards, he said, "This is an event to herald the promise of our province's very best young people." Looking through a list of past winners and what they've achieved since is truly inspirational. Olympians, Paralympians, NASA scientists, rocket lab engineers, professors, environmentalists, and experts in the field of finance.
No pressure.
I remember you from last year. Carry on. In last weekend's paper, feature writer Kim Dungy covered inspirational stories in the mix about the class of 2014. They're making waves in the health and science sectors, music, theatre and other creative industries, and in sport and endeavour. In 10 years' time, we will be reading about your successful endeavours. No pressure. Class Act is also a reflection of what Allied Press and the ODT strives to be. As a proud independent media company, we believe we're not here just to inform and entertain. We want to lead and provide thoughtful opinion. The key in all of this is being part and a reflection of our community. Now for some acknowledgements. Pupils of Columba College, under the guidance of our own Jessamy Simerson, will be serving your delicious finger food after the awards, and we thank them for being here today. Thank you to the schools for their continued support and participation in Class Act, and to the staff at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery for all their help. I also want to thank our bagpiper Caleb from John McLachlan College. A quick plug, don't miss tomorrow's ODT for full coverage of today's event. Don't be shy in buying several copies for all your family and friends. To the young people being recognised here today, please continue to aim high. Continue to work hard and to always ask questions. Your generation faces many challenges, but I have such faith in the young people today that you will come up with the solutions and you have exciting futures ahead. We're honoured to have the Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, to present the awards. We are grateful to Mr Luxon for continuing the tradition of having the Prime Minister of the day present these awards. We believe Mr Luxon's presence here is an honour for Otago and testament to the excellence of our young people. And as you know, you can tell it's a passionate place here.
We're going to build you a great hospital.
You heard that? It's going to be a great hospital. Should we start on the... Speaking of excellence, the University of Otago is a world-class university, as we know. And we are very fortunate in Otago to have the institution on our doorstep. It is what helps make Dunedin the vibrant city it is. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the university for its generous scholarship offered to our Class Act graduates. I would now like to introduce Vice Chancellor Grant Robertson to say a few words. Thank you.
Tēnei mori ora, he mihi ana nā mana whenua ki tēnei takiwa, ka te māmoe a waitaha kaitu i tahu whānui katoa, tēnā rā koutou katoa. E nā mana e nā reo rangatira mā tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, kia ora koutou katoa. Thank you very much indeed, Paul, for that introduction. Prime Minister, great to see you. This is the third time I've worn a tie since I left Parliament, so you should feel very special in the fact that I put it on for you today. And look, just fantastic acknowledgement of what the government's going to do for the hospital. So thank you so much for noting that. But actually what's written in handwriting on my page here is, today is not about you and me, Prime Minister. And so today is about celebrating the students who have received this year's Class Act Awards. Dunedin is a small place. I grew up here, and one of my childhood friends was Robin Charteris' son, Matt. And I've knew Robin my whole life, essentially, and he was an extraordinarily passionate supporter of everything about Dunedin and Otago, and his vision in putting Class Act together. I actually take another view, Paul. I'm not at all surprised, because Robin wanted this to be a legacy to the importance of the young people of this region, the excellent education that they get, and the opportunity they have for the future. And so Robin's vision is one that I think today stands incredibly proud, and I know he would be extremely proud of it. From the University of Otago's point of view, Taku Whakiihu Waka, we are extremely proud to be associated with this. It's the 10th year that the university has been associated with Class Act, and as has been indicated by Paul, all of the Class Act recipients are eligible for at least the $7,000 Leaders of Tomorrow scholarship that we offer, plus more. And if you aren't intending on coming to Otago, it's not too late. Come and see me afterwards. We'll be fine. We can sort it out. But in all seriousness, wherever you are going in terms of undertaking further study or the next endeavours in your life, please take with you the best wishes of this region. We are proud of you. We are proud of what you've achieved so far, and we are proud of what you will achieve into the future. It's not a matter of pressure, it's a matter of opportunity. You've been given a great start by the education that you've had in this region, and now the opportunity exists for you to take that on and change the world. And that's what we want you to do. And you can change the world in many different ways. You can change the world in the big picture or the world around you. But I know that what you've shown so far in your lives means that you will take that seriously. There have been many acknowledgements. I want to make a very special acknowledgement now, and that is to the parents and the caregivers of the students who are here. They have driven you everywhere. They have looked after you, and I'd like us to show our appreciation to the parents. I also want to acknowledge your teachers, many of whom will be here today as well. They are your inspiration. They are people that we remember throughout our lives, and I also want to thank them on your behalf as well. So from the University of Otago's point of view, we are delighted to be associated with Class Act. We want to continue to see that relationship flourish and make sure that as we move into the future, this event goes from strength to strength. My final job is to introduce our next speaker, who is Finn Butcher, who doesn't actually need any introduction whatsoever. Many of you would have seen Finn's heroics during the Olympics, where he won the gold medal in kayak cross. Now, you look at me and think, you're obviously an expert on kayak cross. And I would say, yes, well, I am now. And Finn's heroics at the time were described by people as being unexpected. And while that's true in a sense, it's not true in the sense that Finn has dedicated much of his life to putting himself in a position to be able to win a gold medal like that. Nothing like that happens unexpectedly in the sense of a person not working hard and putting in huge amounts of effort to get there. Finn was a student of the University of Otago. He graduated from another university, which I'm not going to name, but we're very proud that he was a student of the University of Otago, and very proud that he was a Class Act member of 2012. So please put your hands together for Finn Butcher.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm not as an accomplished speaker as these guys up here, so bear with me if I look like a deer in the headlights. So first of all, I was asked to come down and speak to the class of 2024 class act, and 12 years ago I was standing in your shoes, and it's an absolute honour to be able to come back here and speak to you guys and bring something pretty special with me. I'll show you in a bit. So yeah, I thought I'd just go through a little bit about my upbringing, bit of schooling, and then obviously talk about Paris, because that was a pretty cool moment of my life. So first of all, I was born in Alexandria, Central Otago. Well, I wasn't born in Alexandria, sorry. I was grew up in Alexandria. I was born in Dunedin. Somehow ended up on my Olympic bio that I was from Dunedin, but I can assure you I am Central Otago through and through. Went to Dunstan High School and started kayaking when I was around 9. So went along to a novice slalom race we had at the Boston Festival there, and just loved it. Absolutely fell in love with the sport, and had a group of friends that I started with, and they've become some of the best friends I've ever had in my life, and still really good friends now. So I enjoyed class at school, and I found school really interesting, and academics was a big part of my childhood, but also obviously kayaking kind of took over a little bit at some stage. So the club that we had in Alexandria and still have, just founded a lot of passion in the sport, and I'll talk later about how that passion has kind of let me overcome some bumps in the road, and let them be bumps in the road, and not anything bigger than that. And the community we had is still really special to me, and took me on all sorts of adventures and experienced some pretty cool places in New Zealand and all over the world. So I guess from there I left school in 2012, was my final year. Wasn't overly sure what I wanted to do, was kind of tossing up architecture, engineering, design, kind of was into all those sort of things, and ended up settling on coming to Otago and starting a Bachelor of Applied Science in Industrial Design. And I was really enjoying that, but around my second year, end of the second year, the Olympic dream kind of felt a little bit more tangible. It was kind of at the point where Rio Olympic Games was just around the corner, and I knew I wouldn't be in a position to be able to go to that, but I could see a pathway, and I sort of made the tricky decision to stop studying at Otago, and I took a gap year and moved up to train in Rotorua for the summer of 2015, and then spent my first full season racing on the World Cup circuit in Europe. And that was a pretty amazing experience in itself, and definitely kind of made me realise how much work I needed to do to actually make that Olympic dream come true. And so pretty much after that, around that time as well, the Victor Whitewater Park was built in Auckland, and being a kid from Central Otago, I always said I'd never move to Auckland. It's like definitely wasn't something that was in my plans, but however they built the course, and pretty much as soon as it opened I was up there. So I knew that was where I needed to be. That was the place that was going to give me the best opportunity to chase my dreams. So yes, soon enough I was up there, and taking a long time to adjust to the big city life, but as we go on, yes. So I was trying to train like a full-time athlete with a part-time job, and studying through Massey University by distance at the same time. So that actually made a big difference, being able to have something on the side that I could chip away at, as well as go training and work at the same time, and have something that was setting me up for the future, but also giving me something else to think about, and not getting kind of bogged down in just being an athlete and all those things that brings. So when I went up to Auckland, I was lucky enough to be exposed to some high performance sport New Zealand service providers. So I'd kind of gotten my results to a point where high performance sport could give me a little bit of support, and I especially credit the mental skills trainer that I got in sports psychology. So, that first year we kind of just threw everything at me and saw what stuck in terms of mental skills, mindfulness, some connection, trying to connect to who I am and what I'm about and why I do the sport, and also we came up with a thing called our ground zero. So that has helped me through my whole career of being able to recognise where the point of my mindset is that I can perform well, and then either bringing myself down to that or bringing myself up to that through various strategies. And I think, coming from Central Otago and having that community that I spoke about, when I went to Auckland and learned all these things, I had to stay really connected to that because I was far away from home, travelling a lot, and paddling in a concrete whitewater park, which was really different to what I grew up in the Cora Gorge, on the Roaring Meg or down the Clutha River at home. And those things, took a while to be able to sink in and me realise that that's why I love the sport. So I guess fast forward to our selection for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. We started off at the World Champs in 2019, and I'd be going really well through the season, and probably let the moment overcome me a little bit and trying to qualify a spot for New Zealand, and really didn't perform like I wanted to. Luckily, my teammate Jack Danjan from up north qualified New Zealand a quota for us at the Olympics, and so after that it was my goal to try to take it off him. Even though he's my good mate, but I wanted to go in that spot. So I had nothing to lose at that point. We had 2 out of 3 races left, and I needed to win them both to try to make it to Tokyo. So if we get to January of 2020, I was again in really good form and made a good win in the first of those last 2 races and kind of dominated, and thought, I'm in for a good shot here, and went to Australia for our last race, and again probably let that moment overcome me a bit and made some errors that really cost me and ended up not getting selected for Tokyo by sort of 0.2 of a second or something like that. I've kind of blanked that part out, but in our sport there's such fine margins that make the difference, so you've got to be really onto it, and I've taken those learnings from particularly that selection process and brought them through to what's happened in Paris. And having a dream almost in my hands and letting it slip through my fingers was pretty disappointing and pretty devastating, to be honest. But I took the time to reset and figure out again why I was doing the sport, why I love it, and what's important to me. And having Tokyo Olympics delayed a year probably drew out that process a little bit longer than I expected it would. But this is probably the first lesson that I would want you guys especially to leave here today with, from me blabbing on. But is that resilience that you can build through whatever you do in life, particularly sport in my experience, but the deep-rooted passion that I had for the sport and what I was doing through that club in Alexandra and the community that was there, like I say, allowed those bumps in the road to be bumps in the road and not complete cliffs that I fell off. And I wasn't anchored completely to the outcome. It wasn't the whole thing that mattered to me. And that sports psych that I had in Auckland really helped me a lot connect back to those roots again. And probably it wasn't until the 2021 Olympic Games had finished in the July or August of that year that I could really look towards Paris. So I remember through that time my coach actually named our training plan the Desert Road, because there was nothing on the horizon. We had nothing to look forward to and we had to really connect with, again, what mattered to us. And so I set my sights on getting to Paris, and I could travel in 2021 and support Luca Jones, another one of our, she won a silver medal in Rio, on her pre-games training to Tokyo. So skip forward another couple of years. My goal in 2023 was to qualify New Zealand a quota and dominate the selections and make that spot mine. So try to end up in a completely different place to what I was in 2020. And things weren't going overly well, and I wasn't really clicking with the training group and the coaching and that kind of stuff, but I did manage to finish 13th at the World Champs and qualify us a quota at the Worlds, but I did make the decision to sort of change things up and look to find a different environment to train in. And I roped in my old coach Aaron, who actually kind of taught me how to be an athlete back when I was a junior in under 23, and we ended up working for the dark side of flatwater kayaking, and I roped him back in, and luckily he agreed to help me out, and we went over to selections in Australia, and I ticked off my goals and dominated that series and qualified for my first Olympic Games. And I thought it would be a big moment of going from not qualifying to then being qualified all of a sudden, and all of it coming at once, but it was a real slow burn because I was in a good position the whole way through. So it wasn't probably the amazing moment that I realised, but that probably didn't come until we were on the boat in the opening ceremony in Paris, and getting absolutely saturated, by the way, but realising that I was in part of the New Zealand team and receiving this beautiful pounamu from the West Coast, and along with the rest of the team, and that dream was becoming a reality. I think probably what's important in this is, what was important for me in Paris was a bit of autonomy. So I was kind of the CEO of my program, and Aaron was my right-hand man, or chief of operations, or maybe the chief financial officer as well, because I did need a bit of help to get my budgets in order. That's probably not my strong point. But I based in Paris from April to really learn the venue and get accustomed to being in the city, and had some good results at the first World Cups with a second and a third place in slalom and in kayak cross as well. So there was a bit of kind of imposter syndrome that actually came in after those World Cups, and I was sort of like, man, am I actually as good as those results showed, or did people just stuff up and I just ended up there, or what? So we had a bit of a dip about a month or so before the Olympics, and I was actually listening to the podcast with Lisa Carrington, and she said the exact same thing, that about a month out she had the same questions, and can I do this? What am I here for? What does everyone think about me? I shouldn't be here, I'm an imposter, all that kind of stuff. And I listened to her speak about most people will go through something like that, and then the people that really do well can bring themselves back up the other side with the help of their team or coach or whatever. So thankfully we managed to keep moving through that and go into the games with a mindset of just really trying to enjoy the whole moment. Like I said, I didn't qualify for Tokyo, and it's not given that I'll ever qualify for another Olympic Games again. So to be there was a childhood dream, so I wanted to make the most of that and enjoy everything. And because of that, we really enjoyed the opening ceremony. We moved into the village as soon as we could. We wanted to be a part of the environment for as long as possible. And during the racing, my coach and I took deliberate moments to sit back and go, holy shit, this is pretty cool. We're about to look at the course for the Olympic final and staring up at the grandstand and all the cameras and everything that are zooming past and going, this is a pretty cool moment that we could be here together and rip into it. And yeah, and I'm really, really proud of the fact that I could enjoy it and I allowed myself to. I've spoken to a lot of previous medalists at the Olympics or people who have been, and they've said that they didn't let themselves enjoy it because they put too much pressure on themselves and the moment overwhelmed them. So that's probably another lesson for you all. You know, you're all here because you have a passion in something, and I would say try to let yourself enjoy it and don't put so much pressure on yourself that you know, you can't enjoy that process, because you only get one shot at life, so you've got to make the most of every moment. So the slalom didn't probably go, definitely didn't go how I wanted it to go, and picked up a 50-second penalty for missing a gate. So had to sort of reset that evening, and I took that evening deliberately to be upset, and then the next day it was cracking back into my next opportunity in kayak cross, and I think we focus, like I said, about enjoying everything and then having the passion of the sport more important than the outcome. And obviously you're at the Olympics, the outcome is, you know, pretty important, and it's kind of what everyone cares about. So to be able to pull myself away from that was an interesting experience, but also, yeah, I'm really, really proud of the work that went into that to be able to enjoy it. In the race, I just really wanted to have a massive focus on the start. I don't know, those who watched it, you could tell that the start was really important. If you got out to a lead, it was quite hard to get overtaken. And I was saying down the bottom before to these guys, if you know, one thing that I'm very proud of is the fact that in that final I could get out to a good start, but then I didn't let myself get dragged away from what was happening in that moment. There was a few times in the race where I thought to myself different things. So off the start ramp in the melee and ended up in front of everyone, and then I kind of thought, I could be on here, and then but just managed to let that thought just keep moving through, and you know, we've practiced a lot of mindfulness and being in the moment and stuff like that, and I needed to execute the 90% of the run left, and there's a lot of technical things that needed to happen, and then another moment in the middle where I could feel the British guy Joe bearing down on me and almost feel him breathing down my neck, and that was another moment where I just stayed right in it and didn't get flustered and kept pushing. And then just before the last upstream, where, you know, if I execute this upstream, I'm going to be the Olympic champion in a sport that I've loved my whole life, and in front of the biggest crowd and you know, TV audience that I've ever been in front of. And that's pretty easy to fall out of the focus in that, right? But I just said to myself, a little breath and then execute, and yeah, sure enough, managed to get in there and get that upstream done, and coming down to the finish was probably one of the most amazing feelings I'll ever have in my life. So managed to, I'll show you now, I suppose. It's good timing. Managed to get this thing and so, like I said, well, my life has changed quite significantly from not really being known in New Zealand to, you know, like Grant said here, it wasn't a surprise to us, because, you know, we worked really hard to get in this position, and obviously to bring it home is a dream, and a dream doesn't come true unless, you know, I've got this thing here. So to have that, and yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind since, but I think one of the really cool things is going into, you know, my old schools. Went into Dunstan, saw a couple of these fellas here, and my old primary school, and seeing you know, people's face light up when they see a gold medal, and realising that someone who was in their position can go and do stuff like that. And I think that is something that I didn't realise would happen, and has been really special to me. So, guys, I was in your position 12 years ago, and like I say, you're here because you're passionate about something. So, go hard at it, enjoy everything you do, and wrap into it. And congratulations for being here as a Class Act, because you guys are amazing. So, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Ben. Very inspirational, and that really is heavy. We try to neck it at work. In fact, I've never seen so many reporters so excited to come into my office to see it. So thanks very much. And now I'd like to welcome the Prime Minister to say a few words.
Kia ora, good morning everyone. It's an absolute privilege and pleasure to be here at the 25th Class Act Awards. Before I begin, can I just say thank you, Paul, for your continued sponsorship of this great event. Grant, it's great to see you, and on behalf of us, can I just say thank you very much for your years of public service and leadership, and it's awesome to see you in this role, in a very important role in this great city. Can I also acknowledge Mayor Jules Radich is here, and I've got a couple of parliamentary colleagues, Miles, Joseph, and Rachel's here as well, so good to see you all as well. And Finn, it is particularly cool to see you, because you and I spoke by FaceTime in the back of a taxi with the gold medal around you. It was hard to understand you were so excited on cloud nine. I remember saying to you, it's pretty cool that there are so many kids waking up in New Zealand that want to be Finn Butcher now, so it's pretty awesome. So, and you're a fine young man and you're a fine leader, so thank you for what you're doing as well. So we appreciate it. Hey, listen, but most importantly, can I acknowledge all of you, and particularly the scholars that are here, your families, and also your teachers that are here today. And I do want to say, especially to the teachers up front, we owe your teachers a huge debt of gratitude. Their unwavering support, I think, has been instrumental in you shaping up and being so exceptional at what you're doing here and the recognition that you're getting. And you all know the teachers that I'm talking about. These are the teachers, many of them are in the room. You'll get to see them maybe later on today as well. The teachers who give you the confidence that you can actually go out and do something, make you want to do it, share your enthusiasm, and then take pleasure in your great success. So we thank our teachers for all the great work that they do. I'm a kid whose parents left school at 15, 16, and education, a good New Zealand education, got me from a set of circumstances to a better set of circumstances. And I had the great privilege of 2 months ago going back and thanking my very first teacher for getting me off to a good start on the basics of education and getting passionate about learning. And then she passed two weeks later. So I just say, always take time out to say thank you to the teachers who are doing such a great job and are invested in you and care about you and want you to do well. I also want to say it's a real privilege to be able to meet with you this morning, because the reality for us is it's young people like yourselves that in a few years from now are going to be in charge, and it's all of in our collective interest to make sure that you're going to do exceptionally well so you look after us in our older age. But the cool thing is you're going to be the ones that are going to be moving our world forward and building on what Grant and myself and our generation has done and shaping the future with your ideas and your energy and your leadership. And so we're invested in you and we want you to do exceptionally well. I know as Otago's top students, there'll be amongst you, I'm sure, future human rights and corporate lawyers. There'll probably be some financial wizards, some leading art practitioners, some clever engineers, some tech entrepreneurs, and maybe some prime ministers. But the one common theme that will ultimately determine your success, I believe, will actually be your people skills. Your people and leadership skills will ultimately determine the impact that I think you have in the world, and not just your book smarts or your accumulated knowledge. So as super smart as you all are, let me say and challenge you by saying who you are matters so much more than what you do. I'd just like to leave you with maybe 3 very quick personal lessons that I've learned in my career, going from school and university into business and recently into politics, that maybe helps you as you start to think about how each of you are truly going to make your lives count and use the immense talents that each of you have. I think the first thing in life is get connected to a mission and purpose that's bigger than yourself, so that you get to lead a life not of just success but also of significance to the world and the people around you. Don't get me wrong, being smart and successful and great at what you do is really important, But lots of successful people I've met, frankly, all around the world are not living lives of significance. And I think focusing on yourself and your success isn't key. The trick is actually to leverage the skills, the abilities, the experiences that you've had that have made you successful already at your young age, and hook it up to a purpose and a mission bigger than yourself, and that's how you get to be truly significant. And if you get connected with your passions, I think if you're true to yourself and you spend your life on them with all the inevitable setbacks and all the ups and downs that come your way, you never ever get to regret that at the end of your life. The second thing I'd say is I'm a big believer that we all need to decide to choose to happen to our future rather than have it happen to us. And if you're going to go out and fulfill and achieve more things in your life, you need to continually step out of your comfort zone and embrace new experiences. So don't be afraid of doing exactly that. Step out of your comfort zone, do new things in your life, and even make mistakes, because that's the only way ultimately that you grow. And I know amongst some of you, there'll be perfectionists there, and I want to say to you, you put immense pressure on yourselves, and it's important that you become reformed perfectionists and healthy strivers, so that you can travel through life, I think, a little bit more lightly, and as Finn was saying, enjoy it as well along the way. It's not your circumstances that determine your quality of life, so never ever let your circumstances or anyone tell you that you can't live your dreams, or not because of the limits in your life. Frankly, I think other things that we put on ourselves as a result, and that we accept ourselves. And finally, I just want to say, look, people matter, and living a life of success and significance is not possible without strong relationships. And so when you start to think about your life sitting on the vantage point of 80 years old looking back, I tell you, it won't actually be the stuff that you've achieved, it's actually that you'll be proud about. It will actually be the quality of the relationships, the type of person you've become, the kind of leader that you are, the quality of the relationships you have with the people that you love, whether that's your partner, parent, child, friend that you've been. I think that's important stuff. So in closing, can I just say, I think you've got a choice to make. Are you going to choose to get connected to a mission and a purpose bigger than yourself? Are you going to choose to step out of your comfort zone and try new things and therefore grow? And are you going to choose to invest in relationships and have a positive impact with people? And you've got to decide how you're going to use those opportunities, as Grant said, that you have now to build the lives that you dream of. Because I think that decision will determine not only the kinds of people that you become, but also the kinds of communities that we get to live in, and ultimately the kind of world that we all get to live in together. So standing here today, I have to say I feel incredibly optimistic, because I have seen young people like these people choosing to work together, choosing to lift each other up, choosing to leave behind the conflicts and the prejudices of the past, and choosing to create a brighter future for us all. And I think our world is in exceptionally good hands with your generation coming through. So can I say to all of you today, once again, congratulations on all of your tremendous success thus far. I hope you feel incredibly proud of all you've achieved and contributed. But can I ask that you thank those that have helped you along the journey and along the way? Think of those teachers, think of your parents and mentors, and most importantly that you recognise in yourself that you have done well, celebrate this accolade well, and then set some big ambitions and big aspiration and head for the next one. Go well, give it heaps, we're proud of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for those very inspirational words. We're now going to ask each pupil to come across the front of the stage here, where you'll receive your award from the Prime Minister. We ask that you pause while you shake his hand and receive your award, and you'll get your photo taken out the front here before you make your way down the stairs for the official photograph. So first of all, from Otago Boys High School, Fergus Oberlin Brown. And Benjamin Richards. From Bayfield High School, Benjamin Pickering. And Louisa Campbell Lowe. From Blue Mountain College, Georgia White. And Sophie Crawford. From the Catlins Area School, Maya Cable. From Columba College, Monet Morrison. And Clara Ballantyne. From Cromwell College, Hannah Dicey. And Bridie Nicol. From Dunstan High School, Micah Tate. And Eddie Adams. From East Otago High School, Brianne Harris. And Cassidy Bridger. From John McGlashan College, Jonty Riley. And Emilio Kosh Navero. From Kaikorai Valley College, Lisa Piatova. And Hanor Peter. From King's High School, Ted Menzies. and Hugh Jack. From Lawrence Area School, Anna Herricks. And Charlotte Kenny. From Logan Park High School, Grace Fagerlund. And David Singh. From Maniatoto Area School, Olivia Russell. And Samantha Varco. From Maruawai College, Jessie McFadzean. And Jessica Udi. From Mount Aspiring College, Joshua Moody. And Amy Benson. Amy Benson's not here? No? Okay. For Otago Girls High School, Lisa Lockman. And Maya Stake. From Queen's High School, Georgia Gibbons. And Elise Carline. From South Otago High School, Oliver Shaw. And Jessie O'Hara. From St Hilda's Collegiate, Perry Hoare. Dowling. From St Kevin's College, Jacob Harrison. And Bridie McGowan. From St Peter's College, Daniel Kowarski. And Samantha Marsh. From Tyree College, Kira Wallace. And Kate Coates. From Tokamarero High School, Elsie Clark. And Wyatt Mellon. From Trinity Catholic College, Oliver Lodge. And Phoebe Harris. From Waitaki Boys High School, Kate Hamilton. And Joshua Kane. From Waitaki Girls High School, Annika Hayes. And Anna Mansfield. And finally, from Wakatipu High School, Jess Hudson. And Mason Clark. congratulations to all of the 2024 class. Mingle amongst yourselves. There'll be some refreshments handed around by the Columba College girls, and the pupils will be back after their photo.